I don't know about you, but in 2024, I'm going to stop letting my mind control me. What I mean by that is you have to stop letting your thoughts make you feel bad. You're feeling sad because of a random negative thought that popped into your brain, and you attach to it and you believe that to be true. Just because your brain is saying, "Oh, I'm ugly because I'm fat," or "I'm unattractive because I have a big nose," or "I'm unattractive because my butt doesn't look like this," or "I look like that," or "I blah 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 blah." All this stupid stuff. We're breaking out of that, okay? We are breaking out of that. And I'm going to give it to you in a spiritual sense, okay? So, you're not your mind, and you are not the body. You're not this flesh, this skin. You're not that, and you're not these thoughts. This whole body is the human part of you. But what people often forget about is the soul. And the soul is connected to God, it's connected to the universe. Our soul does not have thoughts, it's just pure awareness, it's just pure consciousness. And this is something that only certain people I feel like are going to get, but I'm going to try to break it down. When we are born into this reality, our soul, which is not physical, our non physical form, goes into a physical form, which is our body. So once we step into our body, we start to step into these thoughts because our brain starts to develop as we age. You grow up and people are telling you your ABCs, they're telling you your numbers, they're telling you what to like, what to dislike, they're telling you your religion, they're telling you your spiritual practice. They're teaching you all these words, they're teaching you all these ideas, all these concepts, and you're being domesticated. Don Miguel Ruiz talks about this in the Four Agreements. I really recommend that you read that book. And basically, as we develop all these thoughts and concepts and ideas, we start to have these perceptions. And once we start having these perceptions, we have positive perceptions and our negative perceptions. And with that, we start to have judgment. And when we're judging, we start to judge other people. We're judging ourselves as good or bad. And our thoughts, our brain does this as like your brain is like a generator. It's doing this all day, every day, all the time. I believe they say we have 40,000 thoughts per day. So your brain is constantly pumping out thoughts, and it's just doing that as a just what it's what it does. The brain is just doing what it does. And we put the meaning on our thoughts. So let's say that you're trying to get over your ex, right? And you keep having thoughts about them, keep thinking about them, keep thinking about them. A lot of people will try to put meaning onto this, like, oh, maybe they miss me, or maybe I should text them, maybe this, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just your brain. Your brain is used to them being around. Your brain, you're emotionally attached to this person, so your brain is just pumping out thoughts. And then you choose to accept the thought or to release it. Or, okay, for another example, you could have thoughts that you're fat or you're ugly and you're unattractive, blah, 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 blah. And you don't consciously sit in your bed and think those thoughts. They pop up in your mind and then you start to focus on them. And that's what happens. Like, whenever we have doubt or fear, we don't choose to be fearful. The fear comes upon us because of what our brain is doing. And what I've learned lately to stop this is really it's been going back to my meditation and understanding that I can look at the thought and not be the thought. I can look at it and be like, okay, my brain right now is saying, I'm too bony. I don't have any muscle. I'm bony, so I'm unattractive, right? So my brain will actually tell me this. And then I'll sit there and be like, okay, maybe I am bony. So what about it? Or I allow myself to look at the thought and accept it, and then I move on. I don't attach to it. And one method that I learned from TikTok actually is study the pattern of thoughts that you have. So notice when you get into a flow of angry thoughts, and then give it a name. So my name for my angry thoughts is Zeke. So when I'm start to having really angry thoughts where I'm like, I hate this bitch. I don't like this person. I want to fight him. Bitch, you shouldn't have did that to me. My manager did this. Blah 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 blah. Them angry thoughts. That's my Zeke energy, and that's just a conscious that's just like a line of thoughts that is flowing. And once you identify that, One method that I learned about this is to name your patterns of thinking, give them a personality. So basically, the whole concept is to separate what our brain is doing from what our soul is doing. See, your soul is basically just pure awareness. It doesn't have judgments, it's just aware, it's just watching. Your soul on the inside is just watching everything happen. It doesn't have all these negative judgments. It's not rooted in ego. It's just aware. But our brain is the one with the anger and the fear and the joy and all this. All this stuff is coming from our brain and how we're perceiving things, right? So I learned on TikTok this method of just naming the different parts of yourself. So when my brain is going into anger, it's going down this pattern of thinking where I'm having angry thought after angry thought after angry thought. I name that Zeke. So when Zeke is speaking in my mind, it's like, fuck this bitch. I hate this bitch. I want to fight everybody. I hate y'all. I hate my life. I hate everything going on. I just want to fight. That's Zeke. And when I'm having angry thoughts now, I realize, oh, that's just Zeke talking. Zeke, and then you also want to listen to your thoughts too. You don't want to just ignore them. You want to be like, okay, so what is Zeke trying to tell me? Okay, why I'm mad at this person right now. I'm having anger. Zeke is mad at this person. He wants to fight this person. Let me unpack that from a place of non-judgment. And that's how you get that emotional maturity, because you start to analyze the anger but don't be the anger. Okay? So then my fear-based thoughts, what's his name? Sean. When Sean starts talking, it's like, I'm scared to make this video. I don't know how people are going to perceive me. I don't know if people are going to understand me right now. I don't know. I just want to be in my room. I don't want to be around people. And I start to notice those flow of thoughts. That's typically where most people are. A lot of people are very much into their Sean energy, where they feel fearful, they're scared, they're anxious, and they loathe themselves and life. I get into that place sometimes. So I do the same thing like I did with Zeke. So I study what Sean is saying to me. Sean is saying, okay, I'm unworthy. I'm too scared to make a video. And I unpack that and I'm like, okay, why is he saying that? Why is he telling me this? And I unpack that. Like, why is he telling me that? And then once I unpack it, I get to decide, okay, is this true? Or is my brain just going on a tangent? Because your brain might be trying to tell you something that's true, or your brain may just be generating a random ass thought that's not actually accurate, because our brain isn't always telling us accurate information. Okay? So the last stream of consciousness, I named it Tabari, and that's what you guys kind of see on here. Tabari is the part of me that has more pure thinking, where it's more awareness. It's more, I think Tabari is the closest thing to my highest self. It's the part of me that's not judging. It's the part of me that's spiritual, that's religious, that's high and mighty. It's the flow of thoughts that are loving and pure. And I like to stay in that place. I like to listen to what Tabari is telling me. I feel like Tabari is the highest form of me that is closest to God. And you can do this too. Name the different parts of yourself. Give them a name. Just like how, you know how like celebrities will have like a stage name, like Beyonce has Sasha Fierce, Nicki has Roman, all these people have like, you know, different personas. You can do that too, because as humans, as people, as souls, we are multi-dimensional and we are very layered. So you're not just going to be one person at a time. You have different ways of thinking and different emotions that activate a different part of you. So, to go back to my main point, you want to be able to have control over how these thoughts are and these emotions are controlling your life. And that's what basically what that whole process I was discussing before is about. You want to gain control over where are my thoughts leading me? Why, instead of being led by your thoughts. Like if you're in bed and you feel unworthy and you feel bad about yourself, it might just be because you're listening to your brain chatter and that monkey mind is going off and it's not actually telling you the truth. But sometimes your brain is telling you the truth. But that's why you have to do that practice I just said and sit there and listen and then accurately decide if it's true or not. And another thing I want to talk about is the fact that you can have thoughts in your brain that came from somebody else. Like you have your mom or your dad telling you that you're lazy, or telling you that you're not doing enough. So now you start to develop this line of thinking where you have to be perfect. You're thinking in your mind, oh my God, if I fail, I'm worthless. Oh my God, if I don't do this on time, everything is gonna end. Everything is gonna end. I'm not gonna be able to do everything I need to do. You having those thoughts, right? It's coming from your family, it's coming from what they're saying. And your thoughts are going down that path. And it's so hard when you're having so many thoughts at once. Like, I know for me, I'm always having tons of thoughts in my mind. Like, it's sometimes really hard for me to focus on what people are saying because I'm always having thoughts after thought. And one thing that's really helped me lately, y'all, is journaling. It says Kiwan 2024. Journaling. When you journal, you're able to put all the dysfunction into order. You're able to put all that chaos into order. When you write it down, you're able to process and read back and remember what's going on in your head. You have to put everything down so you can read it and process it differently. Like, trying to process everything mentally, because I know what y'all are doing. A lot of people lay in their bed, they look at the ceiling, they're listening to SZA, they're listening to Summer Walker or Adele, and they're trying to process their emotions. They're trying to think about what happened with this person, think about what they got to do tomorrow, think about where their life is going. You're trying to think of all this stuff at once. And it's sometimes impossible to sort through all of that. So when you journal, it's almost like free therapy because you're able to ask yourself questions. You're able to write down the questions and you're able to process everything. And then what's better about that is that you can, every day you can go back and read what you said. So if you started really spitting, you really started telling yourself some good advice, you go back and read it. That's the thing about journaling versus therapy, because in therapy, it's not written down. You're just talking to your therapist. But when you journal, the journal is you are your own therapist, actually. And you're able to read back what your therapist is telling you. And really, if you get to a good space, and this is not true for everybody, but if you really get to a good space, you can really be your own therapist with the journal. Personally, I have a therapist and a journal, which I think is the most powerful you can have. But journaling is the free therapy. If you're too scared to go to therapy or you can't afford therapy, journal. I'm telling you, you have to journal. And yeah, that's all I have for this video. I really hope all of that helped. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with somebody, because you know you got a homegirl or homeboy that needs to listen to what Tabari has to say, okay? I know what I'm saying is too real. That's why you watch the video to the end, because I know it's too real what I'm saying. So, you know, if you got somebody that you need to show it to, show it. And I hope you liked it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.